Hello, 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 and we're here again, streaming some Blood Bowl 3 in OCC Championship Division, Match Day 6. What do you mean there was a stream earlier about a game that didn't get played? I'm not commenting on that. We're no idea what you're talking about, because we're looking for Pidpad and his Frog Select Old World Alliance team take on Pybot, Golden Legacy Lizardmen. They are scheduled to be starting soon, and both teams, the last we saw them, took a rather punishing round of playing. Pidpad specifically managed to unfortunately lose his best player, which was his human thrower. He did obviously have the cash to replace the man, so does have that, and he has filled up his roster up to the brim, though he is going to be missing. He also got a niggle on his block kick player, and I believe he is just the wrestle strip ball guy is just MNG. So, but still lost one very important player completely, and is missing two fairly good players considering the development level of his team normally. So and unfortunately lost the game as well, 2-0. And then Pybot also lost his game, and he suffered quite a bit of damage. He took a niggle to the Saurus blocker with block, and he also took, I think this is just an MNG. Yep, just an MNG for that. Still wrestle kick skink, very good of a skink, and I believe he also had a death among his ranks. But yeah, he just got pasted by his opponents, and yeah, neither team, I mean, Pidpad, I think, I would argue, had more of a chance to do something about the state of his game. Like, at moments, it definitely looked like that he had a chance of maybe making a 1-1 draw out of the game, but it was not to be, and he did. Unfortunately, the apple was not available for his bludgeoning thrower, because he had to use it on his Mighty Blow Blitzer, who would have died otherwise. But the apple did manage to save him. Then turn 10 and 11 happened. Yes, that would be the case where things were looking, if not great, then not terrible and kind of stable, and then you make a 2-die block with the treeman to try and like unlock the rest of your plan, and you what was it? Did you roll both down skull, and then I think it was double skull, and then you re-rolled, and the loner ate the re-roll without actually working. So yeah, that wasn't a great start, and then you also had an almost immediate turnover on turn 11. Yeah, double skull, yeah, yep. Yeah, not great. Not great by any measure. That particular one. But, I mean, Pybot's team, he's he's missing a source. That's good. Was skull both down into a double? Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah. It essentially it just ate the reroll and didn't even manage to get you down. Yep. Yeah, I mean, not much you can do when that's what happened. But then again, Pybot also didn't really have much to say in his game, where most of his team, I think he had like 5 removals in the course of like 3 turns, and when you're playing as Lizardmen, you're not exactly expecting that sort of attrition rate, and like 3 out of the 5 removals was also like the Saurus. No, one of them I think was the Croxigore, and then like 2 Saurus. So yeah. So both teams are gonna be looking for a win here to sort of recover from the beating that they took last match day. And if we look at the rankings here, I mean, the win would be an important one for both of you here, because I think with if you get a win, you're still going to be in contention of like staying in the championship. You will abandon me now. Oh, the game is starting, I assume. Good luck to you and your opponent, and we'll be spectating with interest. But yeah, the both teams are definitely looking to get a win. Pybot, because he still, like, he's got the best chances. Like, he's still fighting for the top spot with Ventura, certainly, and Hellenic being the next one in line there. But yeah, and Pidpad definitely needs, I think, a win here to have a chance, because in the championship you have to end up in the top half to stay. But enough about that. Let's see what the coin toss is all about. The coin toss is Team Frog Salad won the coin toss, and they decided to kick. Makes sense. Pidpad is in general similar to me as a player, that he likes to kick the ball. So let's take a look. Are there any inducements? So there is Bloodweiser Keg. I think, is that the only inducement? It appears to be, because I don't think there's any star players, and I don't think there's any mercenaries. So just a Bloodweiser Keg for the Old World Alliance. I mean, I say just, but that +1 to KO rolls can come in really, really handy, especially like when he's up against this, like a Lizardmen team who would definitely like to engage in a brawly sort of game with the Old World Alliance, because they definitely have the upper hand in that. And so yeah, we'll see how that goes. And but yeah, this is gonna be a tough match, I think, for Pidpad, because like a lot of the times when you're like, you can at least go like as Old World Alliance, you can go like, well, at least I have like the human catcher, right? Like he's faster than anything on the opposing bash team, so he can potentially outrun and or outmaneuver with the human catcher. But that's not the case with the Lizardmen, because their skinks also just by base have movement 8, and he's got the super skink, which has movement 9 with your hands on him. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised, honestly, that Pidpad didn't want to bring the Sneaky Kid Halfling on the field. I mean, I guess he's still looking to potentially actually like just stop the Lizardmen from scoring. But I think I probably would have thought that, okay, I'm probably not stopping the Lizardmen, so okay, that's a short kick with a blitz. That certainly helps in trying to stop the Lizardmen. He can move 5 people, so he can definitely get a 2-die on that skink runner there. I'm gonna assume this is what he's gonna aim at, and I'm gonna assume it's gonna be the human blitzer who does it, because, you know, block and mighty blow. The dwarf blitzer makes the first move though, moves him up. Tags both of them. This makes sense. Now, who's the second mover? Is that gonna be the Old World Human Blitzer? One... Nope. Okay, so he doesn't go for it because he'd potentially have to go for it. That's what I assume, and because it's a blitz, you can't actually reroll. You can't actually reroll anything, so he doesn't want to... He doesn't want to take the chance that something like that is going to happen. Okay, Frenzy Human Lineman moves. Mighty Blow Human Blitzer moves slightly to the right, both of them. He's still got one person left to move. I'm kind of surprised that he's not moving. Like, I would have expected the Troll Slayer to move there. But okay, so ball lands, bounces to the skink here, and then he doesn't catch it because 2 tackle zones, and then bounces next to that. This is a very, I mean, the thing is that like, it's not like the Lizardmen are going to be really struggling to get to the ball, like, but it is going to be interesting to see. Like, I don't think recovering the ball could be an issue. Takes down the tree, takes down the dwarf blocker there, only manages to push the guard blocker, but does free up his Saurus blocker with guard. His best Saurus over here does not, just brings him on over, goes for the blitz on the, yep, That allows him to remove all tackle zones off of the ball. Now, gets a stun on the human lineman as well. Now, this is an very important pickup. If he flubs this, if he flubs the pickup here, that could be very, very... Well, it would make the game very, very interesting. Like, the game has already gotten more interesting than normal because of the whole blitz. Oh, bonehead on the Croxigore. Okay. Probably not the worst bonehead in the world, considering. Moves Skink over there. Goes for the pickup with the sure hands. Manages it. Doesn't even need the sure hands. And he's got more than enough movement to get himself out of there. Alright. So... And then he's going to start building up a cage over there. I mean, Pidpad can definitely, if he wants to, he will... I mean, depends on where he puts this Skink Runner, I guess. Or he brings this Skink Runner over here for some reason. And moves that one over there, okay. Okay, so if I was Pid, I would have taken the blitz on this Skink Runner. Like, I think this accomplishes absolutely nothing for Pid. Pybot is just gonna run away from this, and then he's gonna be irrelevant for at least a turn, if not more. Only manages to get a push on the Saurus blocker. Does manage to get the two assists on the tree. Takes root, but does manage to stand up with the help of the timber skill. So that's the more important one, I think. The actual standing up rather than taking root. But yeah, I think I would have gone for a blitz, like just old like dwarf blitz here on this guy. Hopefully take him down, and that would get me at least next to the ball carrier. If I manage to take him down. Pidpad is in fact going for a... Okay, that's, He's going for a Troll Slayer blitz on the Saurus blocker. Okay. Fails the Dauntless, but that's fine, because for now that's fine. He definitely needs to make this Dauntless. Still fails the Dauntless. That's, yeah. I mean, he absolutely doesn't use a team reroll here. Yep, and he just gets skull picked, and down he goes. No armor break on the... Yeah, like that was the... Like, what are the chances that he manages to flub both Dauntless rolls? Like, the first one didn't really matter, but the second one absolutely did matter. And then he doesn't, and then he rolls that as well, so... not great. Takes down the rookie dwarf blocker with the block Saurus on the left. Contemplating on whether or not he's going to follow or not. I would assume he doesn't. Yep, makes sense. No armor break to be had. Yeah, I don't think... Like, I get what he was going for there, but I don't think that was definitely not the play I would have gone for, and, like... takes down the thrower. No armor break there as well. Croxigore does end up moving, gets next to the catcher and the human lineman with Frenzy, as well as the Troll Slayer. I wonder if Pybot is looking to push the middle here. Moves that Skink slightly back. Goes for a blitz on the catcher. Does not match, actually, even with 3 dice, does not manage to take him down. Don't greed reroll. Yeah, does not, in fact, greed reroll. He was thinking about it, but ends up not doing it. Moves him back slightly. Brings the Skink with the ball just slightly forward. Takes a 1 die on the tree. Only manages a push. He's just gonna stand firm there. Takes another 1 die. Only manages a push. He's gonna stand there. And that's probably fine for Pid. There is a skink there as well, by the way, if you can't see. There is in fact a skink there, and he doesn't even move the skink. Interesting. I figured that he'd be dodging the skink out, but... Okay, Dwarf Blocker immediately moves to give guard assist on all 3 of these. Dwarf Blocker moves to take out this assist and catch him as well. Dwarf Blitzer moves into contact there, picks up the human lineman with block. Okay. So all of those in very quick succession, so Pidpad definitely has some kind of a plan here. Picks up the human thrower. But what is the plan, though? I think the plan is this Dwarf Slayer is gonna get his chance at blitzing once again. Like, especially with that second guy there. Yep, and this time he does actually even manage to take down the guy. And that Saurus is now in danger of potentially getting surfed. I don't think he's gonna stay here to stand. I think he moves here. So that does mean, yep, he moves there so that the frenzy human lineman can take a 2 die. That's unfortunate because that's gonna be a 2 die uphill now, regardless of where he puts it. But manages to get a not turnover, so push. The interesting position. Catcher moves to the center. I assume the Mighty Blow human blitzer is gonna slightly shift forward once again. No, he goes for the tree block. Okay, goes for a tree block on that Saurus. And manages to take him down. No armor break though. Yep, brings him slightly forward and into the center. Not the worst position for Pidpad, certainly not. Starts out by punching out the Dwarf Blocker with guard. With his own guard Saurus. Follows that up. Because, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Pidpad, like, took a swing at that Saurus blocker rather than the other one. But only manages to push on the other dwarf blocker. Yeah, this tree is unfortunately probably going to become irrelevant soon enough. Well, not exactly irrelevant because he's still definitely just going to be standing there as a good roadblock. Goes for a blitz on the human lineman. Manages to take him down with the block guard Saurus. Doesn't follow that up. Moves there to give his guard all over to a lot of people. He's getting 2 die with this guy on both of those targets. He's got a 2 die there as well. Did have to use his blitz on that, so probably not a lot of forward momentum for Pybot here. But I'm gonna assume that he's gonna take this Saurus blocker is gonna take his swing. Yep, he takes a swing on the frenzy guy. Down he goes because he's got block and the frenzy guy does not. No armor break. Then he's got the Croxigore and he's got a 2 die over there as well. So takes a 2 die. Down goes the dwarf blitzer. Does not follow up. I think Pidpad is probably fine with the dwarf blitzer containing like a Saurus blocker. I think that's a fair trade probably. Takes down the Troll Slayer with the Croxy. I'm gonna assume he punches. Yep, he punts him there. Definitely follows that up as well. No armor break. Dodges away with the skink that was next to a tree. Does he go for a foul? I don't think he does. I don't think Pybot... I'd be tempted. I'd definitely be tempted to go for a foul on the Troll Slayer. But I don't think he will. Okay, moves the ball slightly back there. Yep, reforms his cage. Alright. So, I mean, again, Pybot is in no real hurry yet. That was only his turn 3, and he's got a movement 9 skink, so he's not exactly in a hurry to try and score. So picks up Picks up the regular human lineman. Picks up the dwarf blocker with guard. Brings him into contact with the Croxy. Picks up the frenzy lineman. The 3 guard Saurus here are a bit of a problem. I think he just brings 2 assists. Okay, he just picks up the Old World Dwarf Blitzer. I think he just picks up 2 assists to get a decent blitz. Yeah. Okay, he just brings in 1. Manages the Dauntless this time, so down he goes, gets him next to the tree. So he's at least contained by the tree, and the tree is being more useful than just a roadblock. Moves slightly backward, does take the GFI necessary to bring him over there. Does he team reroll that, or is he happy just going down with the Croxy? I think he's just happy going down with the Croxy. No armor breaks either side. Slightly surprised that he's happy going down with the Croxy, but picks up the Croxy, no trouble. But I mean, I guess he just picks up the human thrower, and then this human lineman has a 2-die there already. So yeah, probably not overtly concerned about that turnover. Takes down the block human lineman with the block guard Saurus. Dumps him next to the sideline. Follows that up. Gets a stun on him. Takes a punt into the frenzy lineman. Down he goes. Does he follow that up? I mean, he did take the POW for a reason. He could have taken the boat down just fine. Did decide to follow that up, yes. No armor break on that. Okay. I mean, that doesn't really change the equation here, because this dwarf blocker has guard, and like this guy wasn't a necessary. Okay, but he's going after the guard with the. Okay, that makes sense. Takes him down. Does he follow it up? That's what he's thinking. I don't think he does. No, okay, he does in fact follow that up. Down goes the dwarf with guard. No armor break. He's got a 2-die. Okay, shuffles the bull carrier back to rough, slightly behind where he started in the last turn. Makes up the cage. Takes down the dwarf blitzer again with a skink. Follows that up. No armor break. And he's got this Saurus blocker is free. And then, I mean, he can absolutely try at least like the 5+ dodge with the Saurus. Or he can just keep the Saurus down to not give a free hit to the treeman. But I think I would probably just like stand up and try to make the 5+ dodge. Somewhat debating apparently where he wants just a block Saurus to be. I think that's where he's gonna end up. Yep, next to the ball carrier. Does go for the dodge, manages to get the dodge. And that is actually more than slightly annoying, probably, for Pit. I mean, yeah, okay. So Dwarf Blocker runs over there. Dwarf Blocker stands up. I mean, he's got a... Picks up the Dwarf Blitzer in the back. Goes for a mighty blow hit on the block guard guy. Down he goes. Pushes him onto the Blocksaurus. Pushes the Blocksaurus onto the thrower. I think he's looking to threaten a circle on that Saurus. No armor break there. Falls back with the human blitzer. Picks up the thrower. And that should give him fails the Dauntless. Does take down the Saurus. Okay. Down he goes. Gets a stun. That's nice. Unfortunately, Yeah, picks up the frenzy player, but that does not even give him an assist. So if he wants an assist there, he needs to bring the catcher over to get a 1-die, which he does, and makes sense, I think. Takes the 1-die, down goes the Croxy, gets punted on over to where the non-guarded dwarf blocker is. No armor break. I mean, I don't think either team is is feeling awful about their current position. It is turn 5, but again, like Pybot can score in 2 turns. He's definitely was probably hoping for more removals. Like, they have been brawling it out for the entire half pretty much. And so far, no removals on either side. Manages to get a stun on the frenzy lineman with his best Saurus. Meat grinder gameplay. That is very much it. That they have not left this general area for the entire game so far. And yeah, they've just been punching the shit out of each other. Here comes another punch. This time only a push. So the dwarf stays standing. By the way, it's not named after you, but this is what you would look like as a player over here. Croxigore decides to be a bonehead. So he doesn't stand up. He's just chilling on the ground. What does Pybot do then? Like, again, he's not under a lot of time pressure here, or pressure on the field to score. Like, he's still got 3 more turns to go, and he's very fast on the Skink Runner. Moves the guard block guy over to assist in the center, which I mean, makes sense. But does that mean that he's actually going to move forward with the ball? Well, technically, he did, in fact, move forward with the ball, but he moved 1 square forward. So not a lot of forward momentum to be found here. There we go. Moves some skinks over to complete the cage. I'm going to assume, yep, that skink also just dodges away from the Dwarf Blitzer there. Doesn't want to get punched in the face for no reason. And, yeah, I don't think he... Okay, brings him in over there. This will be a very interesting turn, I think, for Pidpad. Like, how exactly is he going to take advantage of the situation? The tree is still, again, he's just stuck where he is. So, not great for him. I'm going to assume he's just going to pick up this guy. He might actually even go for a blitz here, just to get himself next to the ball carrier with this guy and be as annoying as possible. I could definitely see that. I'm going to assume that this Dwarf Blitzer, he's just going to run him over here and try to be as annoying as possible. But the real mystery is, how is he going to unravel this formation of Saurus? Because, well, they've got the guard advantage and they've got the strength advantage here. So, and the fact that this is a catcher does not help him out a lot. Like, does not help him out at all. I think he needs to go for a 1-die here. Like, I think that's the way, is that he takes the blitz here, gets a 1-die, hopefully at least gets a push on him. So that, okay, he just picks up the block guy over there. Yep. Dwarf Blitzer comes over to where I assumed he would be. But yeah, I think he goes for a 1-die here. Hopes that he gets at least a push, because then he can... This Dwarf Blocker can move into that space, which allows him to get an additional assist here. Okay, Dwarf Blocker moves there. That doesn't really help out his position over much, but does mean that he's tagged the Skink Runner there and the Croxigore. He's definitely having a lot of thinking here. But yeah, I don't think he can find a better... Okay. Okay, so he goes for the more risky play. Still takes the 1 die, but doesn't use his blitz for it. Follows that up, obviously, because he wants the guard to be there. Okay, now what? Now what do you do? Because, like, this is gonna be... This is probably the block that he takes. Like, he's guaranteed a 1 die. If he makes the Dauntless, it's a 2 die. But if he fails that, that's gonna be real awkward real quick. Okay, he goes for a blitz on the skink on the side. Manages to take him down because they're both down. That is, I believe, the first skink hit, and he's knocked cold. So he's out at least for the drive. Always good. That is the first removal of the game, by the way. So despite all of the blood you see on the ground, nobody's actually been getting hurt so far. Takes down the Saurus with the Troll Slayer. Winds up the punch real good. No armor break, though. Then he still has this Catcher to move, and he's got this Human Lineman. Catcher just moves back here, and he does not take any punches here. Which makes sense, because at the best of times, it's going to be a 1 dice, and unfortunately, the opponent has block, but he doesn't. So, not great odds for him. Keeping him in the back as a sort of safety player makes sense. So, Pybot starts by taking down that Human Lineman. He is... I think this is the turn where he's going to try and break out into the backfield. I think this is the turn. So, he takes him out, which also frees up the Saurus blocker here. The real question is... what is he gonna do next? He picks up the Croxigore as well. Just picks up the Saurus blocker there. Okay. Takes a 2 die with the skink on the Troll Slayer. Down goes the Troll Slayer, which allows him to follow that up as well to open a pathway there. Yep, he follows that up. No armor break. I'm gonna assume he punches. Okay, so that's where his blitz is. That's not a good result. Team rerolls it. Down he goes. Okay, so did have to use a reroll for that, but otherwise he would have been somewhat scuffed there. Manages to get the no armor break on the Human Lineman. Brings forth the block guard guy, which means that this Saurus blocker can just walk here. And then the ball carrier now has free reign to walk here, and from there he's definitely within scoring distance. And Pidpad is unfortunately kind of mired in this brawl, so he doesn't exactly have a lot of players that, like, he'll need to make some 3+ dodges if he wants to get players over here to stop the Lizardmen. And even if he does manage to stop them for now, they still have 2 turns, so it's not like it's critical that they score next turn. Yep, just moves him forward. Moves him more forward than I assumed he would. But that's fine. Saurus follows up from there. Makes the dodge with the skink, which does mean that I was looking at that and going like, well, he better make that 3+ dodge with the skink, or otherwise he's getting punched in the face by this Catcher. But he is in fact just fine. Just fine at making 3+ dodges. He's got this skink to move, and I think that's the last player that the Lizardmen have for now, for this turn. But where is he going? I'm gonna assume he's just gonna dodge away. But where is he going? But yeah, Pidpad, like all of his players... Oh, he actually just stays there. Okay. That kind of makes sense. But yeah, Pidpad is not in a great position to respond to this. Brings over the Mighty Blow. Manages to take down the skink with the Dwarf Blitzer. Follows that up, obviously. No damage. Moves the block guy over to the Croxigore so that he can get a 2-die on the Croxigore there. Yep, down goes the Croxigore, which frees up this human thrower. Follows that up as well. Gets a stun on the Croxy. That's nice. He now also has a 2-die on the Skink Runner. Right? Because, no, it is going to be a 1-die because that is in fact a guard piece there. Moves the catcher next to the Saurus blocker here. Interesting. Picks up the Frenzy player. Picks up the Troll Slayer. Picks up the Human Lineman. Takes the 2-die that he has on the Skink now. Only manages to get a push. Follows that up. I mean, I guess it's the thrower. He's gonna go for a 1-die on the Saurus there. Makes it and does manage to even take him down. Okay. I mean, he's at least making a nuisance out of himself. No armor break on the Saurus. Still definitely making a nuisance out of himself. But as I said, like, Pybot still has one more turn after this, so... Goes for a blitz on the thrower. Takes down the thrower, no problem. Doesn't follow that up. No armor break either. Moves next to the human blitzer there. Like, he can just... Like, he could just score if he wants. Like, he just moves this skink out of the way. And then he just runs past and scores. The real question is he going to be greedy enough? Yep, he is going to stall it. And I don't think Pidpad is really in a position to stop him. So he is just going to stall the scoring. Takes down Human Lineman. Gets a stun on it. And then he can move. Yep. Yeah, I mean... As I said, I do think that Pidpad and his team were the underdogs in this match, and like this sort of a brawly match certainly favors the Lizardmen. I think the only, obviously, the things that you need to keep in mind is that one, the Old World Alliance will have a turn after the Lizardmen score on turn. Like on turn 8, which means that they are capable of making a 1-turn touchdown because they have both a catcher that moves fast enough and they have the ability to pick up one of their small teammates and throw them for the score, and they're definitely going to attempt it. So they are probably just looking to deal damage here. So down goes the Saurus, follows that up. No damage on the Frenzy Human Lineman who got blocked by the Skink. Picks up the thrower. Brings the catcher over. Gives a 2-die for the Mighty Blow guy. Only manages pushing. Does not follow that up. I mean, I think he's gonna... Like, he can get a 2-die here. No, he can only get a 1-die there. That's a bit of an issue. Well, he can get a 2-die if he brings him to assist as well. Okay, moves the block guy here. For what reason exactly, I don't know. Okay, so he gets 2-die on this blitz. Only manages a push, but that's fine because he pushes him into the waiting arms of the Troll Slayer, which means that he's still going to be getting a 3-die, and down he goes with the power of both down, and that is the first blood goes to Old World Alliance. Skink gets punched in the face by the Troll Slayer, and he is out for the game. Both teams are at, well, the Old World Alliance has 3 bench, while, wow, okay, fails the dodge there to get away, to give an assist on the block here. Does not decide to reroll because he wants to save those rerolls for the 1-turn attempt. So, Lizardmen punch Dwarf Blocker with guard. No armor break. He wants to take a 3-die on the catcher as well. Does manage to get the POW that he needs to take him down. Getting rid of that catcher would be very good for the Lizards. No armor break there, though. Still has the ability to go for a blitz. Goes for a blitz on the thrower. Manages to take him down. Yeah, the fact that, like, Old World Alliance has managed 2 removals and the Lizardmen have removed none is, those dice are definitely in Pidpad's favor, as that is statistically improbable. And I do like the fact that the skink just tries to eat the ball after scoring a touchdown. But KO recovery, so Lizardmen will have 10 players. 10 players to field for now. Old World Alliance will obviously get their line of scrimmage blocks, so that could get, like, if they get more removals, that could go down as well. However, I don't think that the removals are going to be the thing that the Old World Alliance is going to be concentrating here on. I think they're going to look for a one-turn touchdown to try to even the score. Which means that we're going to be seeing our favorite hero, Augustin Princess, Old World Halfling Hopeful, who has Sneaky Git. He is going to be probably, like, hoping to show us some aerial acrobatics once again. And Pybot is taking a rather unorthodox... looking defensive positioning here. Like, he is essentially, I think he's going, okay, you can have the, like, you can have the easiest, as easy of a throw teammate touchdown as possible. That is essentially what Pybot is saying here, because, like, statistically speaking, like, even with no interference from your opponent, right? A throw teammate touchdown is not exactly a very easy thing to pull off. So, not surprised. Well, slightly surprised, but, like, when you think about it that way, like, Pybot's maneuver here does make sense. He doesn't want to expose his skinks. Like, especially this important one. He does not want to expose that to any danger, or as little danger as possible. So, but yeah, this definitely does make Pidpad's life more than a little bit easier. More than a little bit easier. Okay, so this is the high kick. I think he needs to put the catcher there. Is that going to be enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, if he puts the catcher there, fails to catch, but makes it on the reroll. So now he needs to make 2 GFIs to hand off to Morgan the Giant, who's also a halfling hopeful. Goes for a blitz on one of the skinks at the back there with the Mighty Blow Blitzer. Does not manage to get anything other than a push. Goes for a block against the Saurus blocker there. Only gets a push. Doesn't follow that up. I'm gonna assume that's all of his blocks that he takes. I mean, he could potentially get a 2-die over there, but yep, goes for the handoff. Fails the animosity. Rerolls it, makes the animosity, and then he fails the catch, even with a reroll. Okay. So he failed a 2+, and then made it with a reroll, and then he failed a 3+, even with a reroll. So, yeah, Pybot's gamble of, yeah, it's still unlikely that you'll be able to do a 1-die, or a 1-turner, paid off there. So, 10 against 11 for Lizardmen, down 1 player, though that is only a rookie skink, so not much of a loss. Facing off against full 11 for the Old World Alliance. Close match indeed. I am like I have a feeling that we're going to have at least one of the halflings on the field, just because, well, Pidpad, he's got no bench on the lizard, so, and removals now is, I think, more important than having, like, one of his random 0 SPP human linemen on the field. So I think the sneaky git halfling is definitely going to be around to kick anybody who goes down. But yeah, surprisingly, I think, like, this could look a lot worse for Pidpad, considering that he's been brawling the entire game pretty much with the Lizardmen, and he's taken no removals. So could definitely be in a worse position. The real question, I think, is Pidpad gonna try for the win? Like, is he gonna go for a quick score and try for the win? Like, that is, I think, the pertinent question. Because why is that random old world, like, why is that dwarf blocker just randomly there? Okay, so he got quick snap, so he moved the human thrower, human catcher, old world dwarf, halfling hopeful, and the human blitzer forward. Okay, fair enough. Does not make the 5+ catch off of the kick with the old world dwarf blocker. But yeah, like, the pertinent question is Pidpad gonna try and score quickly? Because I think that for Pidpad specifically, he needs a win. If he doesn't win this, it's gonna be very hard, I think, for him to actually stay in the championship with this team. So the real question, like, is he gonna threat that? Or is he gonna be tempted by that, or is he just gonna go? It's unlikely that I'll be able to score twice for the win. So maybe he just goes for, like, the 1-1 draw aim. Does manage to take down another skink with the Mighty Blow Blitzer. Only manages no armor break. Follows up the Croxy with the tree. Somewhat odd, because now he doesn't have enough assists to make a 2-die on the Saurus that's still on the line of scrimmage. I mean, he has got the halfling hopeful, I guess, who can move over to give an additional assist there. Which does mean that he's not going to be fouling anyone. Only manages pushes there. Follows that up because he can still get a 2-die with the guard player, like with the guard player assisting. And okay, block dice for now, not the greatest. Follows that up as well. Okay, interesting. Did manage to retrieve the ball, no problem. Has it on the bludgeon catcher, who I think he wants the ball to be on, really. Like, the thrower at the moment is just not the greatest ball carrier. Much rather have it on the fast moving catcher. But the fact that he moved sort of backwards, like more towards the center into a safer position, I think does signal to me that Pidpad is probably going for a slow score for the 1-1 draw. All right, goes after the Mighty Blow Blitzer because he's very much overextended in the back. Down he goes. No armor break to be had. Then what? Okay, moves the Saurus over, takes a 2-die on the block human lineman with the Saurus that refused to go down. Doesn't follow up. No armor break. Picks up the Saurus on the line of scrimmage who did go down. And then Croxy does have his choice of a 2-die. I'm gonna assume if he's gonna actually try to block with the Croxy, he's gonna go after the guard dwarf there. Taking a lot of time thinking his position through here. Let's see. Like, I don't think he's gonna... Like, he could take this Saurus blocker and start putting pressure on the backfield for Pid, but I don't think he will. Like, I don't see him doing that. Yep, he just moves to tag the Mighty Blow Human Blitzer. Then he's got this guy over here. Probably isn't going to be marking any of these. I doubt he's going to be moving him there either. Brings the skink over. Is he going to go for a foul? No, he's not going for a foul. He just brought those two skinks over as well. Does actually bring this guy into contact, and then gets a bonehead for the Croxy. Okay. That's going to make things interesting in the middle brawl here. I don't know why he brought these two over, I'll be honest. Starts with a 2-die against the Saurus with the Treeman on the right. Down goes the Saurus. Gets a stun for his efforts. Just needs one more assist here. And he's got a 2-die there. Yep, Dwarf Blocker comes in for that assist. Down goes the block guard Saurus. I imagine, yep, Blitzer is gonna follow that up. No damage. I would be very tempted by this. Like, this Saurus should get fouled. Should absolutely get fouled. Frenzy player moves forward to screen, I think. That, however, indicates to me that he's looking to actually go for the quick score. Moves the thrower forward as well. Please, 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 Pidpad, actually go for the foul on the block guard guy who's on the ground. Like, you can absolutely get... Like, 2 assists is probably not going to be enough. Okay, he goes for the foul, but I don't think the 2 assists are going to be enough to me for that. Yep, I mean, well, even 2 more assists wouldn't have been enough, so fair enough, I guess, but... Makes the 3+ dodge, goes for the 2-die, takes down another skink with the Mighty Blow Blitzer, and that's a smashed knee, so that is a movement bust on a rookie skink. Definitely not getting Apo'd that one. Then moves into contact with the... Okay, interesting. I figured that if he was like that, he'd still be moving this way rather than into contact with the skink. But I guess he wants to threaten... He wants to threaten that skink with a 2-die block that doesn't require him actually blitzing, which makes sense. He could have... Yeah, he could have tried to go for 2 GFIs to put himself next to the most valuable skink, but then he just moves this skink over here and then this skink takes a 2-die on him. Alright, Mighty Blow guard tackle Saurus takes down the guard blocker on the line of scrimmage, or near the line of scrimmage. Gets a stun for his efforts. Don't think that's going to be overtly important of a stun. Moves the Hyper Skink into contact with the Treeman, which does mean that he has 2 dice on the Treeman with the Croxigore. And also does mean that this Saurus blocker can, like, he was kind of in the way there, so he's now got, yep, here comes the blitz on the Frenzy Human Lineman. Does not manage to take him down. Only manages a push, doesn't follow up either. I think he's just going to stay there. Maybe move up 1, but I think he's just going to stay there, I think. But yeah, I think Pybot is... Like, Pybot and Pidpad are probably fine with him just running the human catcher in for the score on turn 11. Like, I think both sides are probably just fine with that arrangement. Okay, does bring in those... Ooh, needs to use a reroll or accept the... Okay, even with a reroll, doesn't manage to take him down. And then goes for the 2-die on the tree and takes the both down. No damage either side, which is unsurprising, really, considering their armor values, even with the Mighty Blow on both players. But takes the 2-die on the block guard Saurus, gets a push. Now, this is the question. Is Pidpad actually scoring? Is he scoring, or is he just going to Is he just going to move? I mean, with this movement, he's not scoring. Yeah. Yep, he is just going to stall. So after all, Pidpad is not going for. Oh, okay, moves him there. Okay, Mighty Blow guy takes a swing at the Saurus. Only manages to get a push. Is he? I think he was tempted there to use a team reroll, but he didn't. Moves him to screen better. I mean, he can take a kick at the Saurus blocker, I guess, but rather just moves the halfling on over. Well, waddles the halfling on over to help screen out this area better. I mean, I think as things stand, Pybot can probably force the score off of Pidpad in like 2 turns. If things go well, he's only gonna need 1. Picks up the Croxy and starts bringing him on over. Takes down the Dwarf Blitzer. Doesn't follow that up. Frees up the Saurus blocker to move as well. Takes the 2-die with his best Saurus on the block guy. Only manages to push both down. Decides to just stand there. Picks up the block Saurus that was prone. Brings him over to the Mighty Blow Blitzer. I'm going to assume that is going to be his blitz target. Yep. Here comes the block Saurus guy. Only gets okay. I doubt he's going to use a team reroll here. Yep, he just accepts the facts that he doesn't even manage a push. Just stand there. Moves the block guard guy into contact with the other guy as well. Brings in his good skink over. I'm gonna assume that he's gonna move these 2 skinks like over here to screen out. He absolutely does not want him getting hit by any random blitz. In fact, I think the blitz, like if he leaves him exposed, it is literally he's gonna take the 3+ dodge and then go for that. But as expected, skink. Moves the screen. Yup. Alright. What is Pidpad's response? What is Pidpad's response? As I said, I don't think... Yep, he just slightly shifts the catcher that way. Moves the halfling to cover. Moves the troll slayer to cover better. Yeah, as I said, I think Pybot will force Pidpad to score next turn. But picks up the guard blocker. Makes the GFI. I'm gonna assume he's gonna pick up. Oh, he goes for the blitz here as well. Does take down the Saurus blocker. Okay. Probably doesn't follow that up. Yep, he's still got movement. He can get him next to the tree. No, he didn't have movement. He fails the GFI. I doubt he's going to try and team reroll this. Yep. No, he did try to use a team reroll there, but the loner ate it, so still managed to fail. No armor break. So no picking up the tree. No moving this guy. And the human blitzer there is, well, I think Pidpad kind of gave up on him. Like, he would have probably dodged him into that tackle zone and then tried to dodge out, so it would have been a 4+3+, but I don't think Even with the turnover, I don't think... Yep, takes a 3 die. Down goes Mr. Human Blitzer with Mighty Blow. No damage. Yeah, I don't think there's a shot at the... Or is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Okay. Goes for a blitz on the thrower. Down goes the thrower. Doesn't follow it up. No armor break. Oh, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so he wouldn't have actually gotten a hit, but he can still definitely with 2 GFIs get himself next to the catcher. The Croxigore moves, makes himself a nuisance next to the Frenzy Human Lineman and the Halfling Hopeful. Doesn't make any GFIs, just brings him next to the Troll Slayer. That's kind of dangerous, I'll be honest. Brings the Good Skink over as well. Okay, yep, that makes more sense. Like I was thinking that, oh, Pidpad is definitely going to bring the dwarf blocker over and pick up the human. Yeah, actually, that wouldn't work. So, never mind that. I think Pidpad just walks in the score now. Yep. Alright. That's 1-1 on the board. It's going to be turn 13 for Pybot. And he has shown us that he's perfectly capable of scoring what would essentially I would call a 2-turn touchdown. Still no removals on against the Old World Alliance. I imagine that probably makes Pybot slightly frustrated. But he's still in a very good position overall to win this game. Like, he's got 2 rerolls left. And he's got 4 turns to score a touchdown when he's getting kicked over. And if he manages to score on turn 16, there's not even going to be a 1-turn attempt. This time Pidpad keeps the Sneaky Git Halfling on the field, rather than in the first defense where he just had a rookie human lineman there. Okay, Pybot, yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to brawl for the middle. He just wants to contain the Old World Alliance team, I think, as tightly in the middle as possible, which should open up like an avenue for his team to go through. Well, for his skink to go through. So this makes sense. Does in fact shift from the flank maneuver to putting more people on the line of scrimmage. Still nobody next to the tree because he doesn't want to waste time taking hits on the tree. Right, this kickoff is going to be big. It's another blitz for Pidpad. This time, however, definitely not a great landing spot for the ball, so he can't contest the landing spot. He can take his swing, however, and yeah, I am not surprised he's going to go after this Saurus blocker here. Unfortunately, the Troll Slayer is all the way over there. Moves the human blocker over to tag the Skink Runner on the line there. Yep, Mighty Blow Blitzer goes after him. Only gets a both down, so doesn't even manage to push him. That's actually not great. And then he's got one more player to move. I think it's just going to be this Dwarf Blitzer who moves like here. Right? Of course, the tree can move because there was nobody next to him. So the tree actually moves and makes himself useful by attacking these 2 Saurus blockers. Yep, that all makes sense. Unfortunate that he didn't manage to take down the Saurus blocker there, but that's 2 kickoff results Actually, like, thinking about it, I'm pretty sure all of the kickoff results so far have been favorable to Pidpad. Like, there was a blitz, there was a high kick, there was a blitz now, and what was the last one? I don't remember what the kick was for Pidpad's last drive, but like it was at best neutral. Goes for a blitz on the human block lineman there. Only manages to get a push. Does manage to take down the old world dwarf blocker that's next to the tree. Only managed to push on the guard dwarf here. So essentially what I'm saying is that if Pidpad doesn't win this, it is pretty much confirmed to be a skill issue, because like he's taken no removals, like, and he's actually removed several Lizardmen players. All of the kickoff results have either been him favored or neutral. So what gives, Pid? Why are you not winning this game? Right, so after the blitz, he brings the guard guy over, brings the Croxigore over there, gets his 2-die on the halfling, down goes halfling, and gets KO'd for his trouble. Still not numbers parity. Pidpad is still ahead with 1. Brings the skink over so that he can get a 1-die on the tree there. Surely, yep, goes to cover the pickup with one of the rookie skinks. Goes for the pickup with the super skink. Manages it, no problem. Now, where does he go with the ball? Again, he's got 3 more turns to score, so I don't think he feels... Yep, he just goes backwards. Tries to keep himself as safe as possible. And, yep, takes down the tree with a 1-die. Stand firm probably going to be used here. Yep. No armor break, because the tree is just one of those people who you need to roll an 11 plus to break the armor on. So obviously, unless you have claw. Human lineman would block, moves into the back line to put some pressure on the lizards. Catcher also does the same. I don't like, the thing is that he's gonna be running past them anyway. So, not sure how much that helps. Moves the thrower over there to try and the dwarf blitzer to try and get the tree up. Trollslayer moves back to be a safety. Tree stands up, easy peasy. And now what? Goes for the blitz. Has to use a reroller, but he makes it. He makes the 2 go for it. He gets a POW. The man gets a POW on the 1-2 die he gets on the super skink. Down he goes. It's a stun. That's massive. That is massive right there. And suddenly Pybot's in trouble. Croxigore makes his move. Gets next to the ball because he's still got movement 6, even though he's a big guy. That helps out a lot. I think with the stun, Pybot is going to struggle to actually score the winning touchdown. So if nothing else, that has probably made it so that Pidpad will not lose the game. Goes for a 2-die on the Mighty Blow Blitzer. Only manages a push. Only managed to push against the dwarf blocker that was next to the tree. Does manage to free up the Saurus blocker with block guard. He's got this skink runner free, but this skink needs to go forward. Like, he absolutely needs to go forward. Cannot afford to not go forward with that. Makes the 2 GFIs to get a swing on the frenzy player. Only manages to push. Gets him out from under. Manages to make the pickup. Doesn't need a team reroll for it, which is good. But where is he gonna go with the ball? Like, there is unfortunately no way that he can extricate either. Well, I mean, he can go for 5+ dodges, I guess, but regardless, this skink needs to get away from the tree. He needs to get away from the tree, and he needs to go the long way around, and even then, there's the Troll Slayer waiting for him to just bounce on. So... definitely not an ideal situation for Pybot, which is why he is racking his brain on what exactly am I going to do now. Where is he gonna go with that skink runner? Because unless he actually manages to make some 5+ dodges with the Saurus to come and protect the skink wherever he crows, that skink is getting two-died by a block player. And then there's the human catcher who's ready and waiting to go and try and scoop up the ball. Very, very tough situation for Pybot. Very tough situation for Pybot. I think he... yep, he... oop, needs to use a team reroll. Okay, so Maidem only gets a push on the one die there. Stand firm means he's not going anywhere. And he fails to dodge, and the skink dies. There is no Apo used on the skink because, I mean, he was like 0 SBP rookie skink, I'm pretty sure. Yep, 0 SBP rookie skink. That does mean that Pybot will not be scoring a touchdown. So Pidpad is safe. Oh, never mind. Pybot actually has 2 turns left. I forgot completely. So disregard that statement. But that skink is gonna get 2-died by a block player. Probably Styrbjorn Bjorn. So Dwarf Blitzer moved over to so that he can get a 2-die here. I don't think the Troll Slayer is gonna come forward. I think what he's gonna do is he's gonna... okay, so only manages a push there, but I think that's fine. I think what Pidpad wanted was to free up this dwarf blocker here. So he can go. Brings the thrower in. Okay. Ah, that's why. Okay. Manages to get a bow and a boat down. Takes the POW. Shunts him back next to the tree. Follows that up. Where's the ball scatter? That's an unfortunate scatter. For both teams, really. That does not really serve either team too well. Dwarf blocker moves to put a guard on it. Okay, now here's the question. What does the Troll Slayer do? I think the Troll Slayer just moves up here to get another tackle zone on the ball. The skink runner is still potentially capable of scoring. But yeah, these are some very tense turns here. So Pidpad also definitely needs to think. Takes a 2-die with the tree against the block guard guy without moving the Troll Slayer. Has to use his last team reroll. Does actually manage it. The loner doesn't eat it this time. Follows it up with the tree. Interesting choice. Yep. Brings the Troll Slayer over. That gives him a 1-die there. Not sure if he's gonna take it. He's got 2 players who are in scoring range, the catcher and the frenzy human lineman, though the frenzy lineman probably is gonna... okay, dodges. Okay, dodges to pick up the ball with the Mighty Ball Blitzer, and he makes the dodge, he makes the pickup. So he has recovered the ball. That's good. Brings him over to as safe a position as possible. I'm pretty sure that pickup pretty much seals the deal for Pybot not scoring. The real question is, can Pidpad score? I think this human catcher needs to make his way. Yep, he makes his way as far over there as possible. I don't think that's the correct square. I don't think that is the correct square. Makes the 3+ dodge with the frenzy, with the frenzy lineman, and marks the Croxigore. Okay, that makes it better. That certainly makes it better. Still not. So picks up the movement 9 skink runner, makes his way over, tags the catcher. Seems reasonable. Takes down dwarf blocker with one of the Saurus. Takes down troll slayer with one of the Saurus. Follows it up even. Interesting. Then he's got a 1 die here. He's got a free Saurus over there. 2 die with the Croxy here. Oh, that's why, because he has a 2 die on the block guy. Goes for the blitz. Even with 3 dice, doesn't manage to take down, but does manage to take it down now with a POW. So human catcher goes down. No armor break, so he's still a scoring threat. We'll need to make a 4+3+ to actually be capable scoring, but okay. Punches the block human lineman and fails to make the dodge with his skink runner in the middle there. Okay. Okay. I think Pidpad. I think what Pidpad wants to do here. He takes root. Yep, goes for the block on the Saurus there. Yep. Push is good enough because he wants to free the human thrower because he's going to need to make a pass. Or not. Okay. Interesting. Okay, he's going for a 1 die on the Croxy. That's... yeah, he's got blocked. The Croxy doesn't. Down he goes. Alright, that frees up the Frenzy human lineman. I think he needs to now make a... like, this Saurus needs to not be here. So he needs to make another 1 die that works out in his favor. Or he goes for the... wait, what? Why would you go for the... why would you not go for the... why would you not go for the 2+3+? Like, why would you go for the pass here? Like, surely a handoff would be better. Okay? I don't think he realized how far... oh, never mind. It would have been a 2+2+ into a 3+. He makes the pass and he walks in the score and Pidpad wins 2-1. Well, he certainly showed me, I guess. I called him out on his skill issue and he went like, oh, skill issue, you say? Watch this. And proceeds to... yeah, I mean, he was doing elf bullshit when he's not an elf. He doesn't even have a 1 elf in his team like a Chaos Pact would. This is just... yeah, Pidpad went for the win. Game is not yet over, however. There could be a turn back the clock situation. And if Pybot gets 2 turns... I mean, with a movement 9... on the skink... he absolutely can go for a 1-turner. The real question is, does he have enough players to do it? And I think the answer is not really. Not really. He's definitely going to set up for it. But is he going to have enough players to actually do it? Is he gonna have enough players to actually do it? He needs to leave the... like, if the kick is deep, he's pretty boned. Does he actually have enough? Does he actually have... I don't think he does, right? Like, he needs... This makes no sense. Right? Because he needs somebody to be here if he wants to push him from... Yeah, I don't think this works. No, he needs somebody to be here. Then he makes the blitz from here, pushes him there, then he blocks that. Yeah, I don't think he has the players to do this. Hold on. He is there, right? Blitz here, push there. He gets pushed there. Then he moves. Because he's now free. He moves there. Ugh. I am by no means an expert on one-turners. Like, I am really shit at one-turners because my brain just fries when I try to think of how to make a one-turn touchdown. So I am just looking with interest on whether or not he actually can do it. But I don't think he can with this number of players. He's running out of reserve time as well. So he doesn't have that much time to actually think on it. Like, how would it go? Like, put this guy here, right? Make that blitz. Push there, right? Then this guy makes the block here. So he needs to have somebody here. The skink is here. And he's here. And he needs to be gone. So this needs to be here. He does have enough, I think. He does have enough people to do that. But this is not the formation to do that with. Maybe Pybot isn't exactly proficient in doing one-turners either, but I don't think this is the... And that just scuppers it, I'm pretty sure. Yep. So, congratulations to Pidpad on his 2-1 win. Somewhat unexpected, I would say. At least I did not have faith. I freely admit that I had no faith in his ability to actually win the game. And there's the first removal. That is the first removal for the Lizards of the entire game. Apo gets called in, and he's fine. Like, how frustrated must Pybot be about that? Goes for the pickup, because, I mean, why not try to get a vanity pass going? Like, no reason not to try. He makes the pass, but he doesn't make the catch. That's just the game. That is absolutely the game just rubbing salt in it. But yeah, 2-1 win. Old World Alliance, Pidpad. That certainly solidifies himself like near the mid-table for the division. Unexpected win. That also probably makes Hlinek very happy. Speaking of, I'm pretty sure that they are currently live. Yep, Hlinek and Balls to the Wall are currently live. The thing is, I don't think we're gonna watch them because, like, they started about a half an hour after the Pidpad and after the Pidpad and Pybot game started. So the thing is, I want to see the entire game rather than like we're probably gonna be like at best we're probably gonna be looking at what four turn like the 4 last turns of the game, and that's just gonna spoil the ending. So I think we're not actually gonna spectate them now because of how far the game is. So that's gonna be it for this stream. Thank you everybody for watching. That was a very interesting game with an outcome that I certainly didn't predict, and yeah, I can get lambasted for that, I guess, for not having faith in Pidpad. So yeah, we're gonna take a look if there's any other Blood Bowl going on for us to raid. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you'll be here for the next one. And as I always say, good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever happens to be the time of day for you. Have a good one.